Oh, we could if we have a shack.
That'd be inappropriate, but that's what women.
Who handles the lawn mowing at the post office?
It used to be Mark. He used to teach at school, or his wife, I think his wife's still at school, Mark. I think he was a coach, lived, spent, they're one basketball coaches, he used to live here in town, sold his house to the Griffiths.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he lives in Wilkes County now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
Deputy.
Oh. Wilcox, that's it, Mark Wilcox. He used to do it. I don't know if they're surprised Manuel hasn't picked up that contract by now. He's getting every other contract in town.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right, we're live. We're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and call to order the regular council meeting and public hearing for the 2024 budget on May 11th, 2023. Start with a moment of silence. Amen. All right, need a motion to, I need to. Oh, you already pulled. Okay, so I need to get a motion to approve the agenda. Scott makes a motion, Tom seconds, all in favor, unanimous. Need to get a motion to approve the consent agenda. Scott makes a motion, Tom seconds, all in favor, unanimous. And then we will start the open the public hearing on the budget. Do we need to go over the budget? Or just go ahead and have public comment?
Yeah, this is.
Okay. No, want to get into all that. Okay, so we're gonna open up the public comment. No public physically here, so anyone online that would like to speak on the budget, we'll give 2 minutes per person. Kathy? Okay. All right, seems like there's no comment, so we'll go ahead and close. Oh, hang on.
Kathy, did you want to speak?
Oh, no, I just said no. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, so that will, we'll go ahead and close out our public hearing for the 2024 budget. Unless council had anything that they wanted to change after our workshop. Hold on. Is that? I see, okay. All right, since we had someone new join on Zoom, Mr. Axon joined us. We'll go ahead and allow, if you have anything you wanted to say about the budget, now would be the time you can speak. Mr. Axon, if you, we were talking about, had the public hearing for the budget, you joined just as we were about to close it out. I didn't know if there was anything you might want to say in favor of or opposing to. Not getting any response. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and close it out. If something happens, we'll have public comment at the end too. There isn't an attorney's report. We don't have any old business. So first item of new business will be the sign permit for Dizzy Bear. They've moved over from the where they were at the point, the overlook, and then moved over here by Main Street Grill. And I don't think there's anything. I don't think our zoning administrator had anything negative about it.
the sign's there, it's, according to Larry, it's the same place that there's been a sign before. He, as the property owner, did sign off on it. I asked for a drawing on it, but I never got that, but besides, I know what it looks like, 'cause it's
Yeah. 'Cause it's
already there.
Yeah,
So,
all right. So
that's-
if there are any other questions, I'd get a motion to accept the application. Tom makes the motion, Scott seconds, all in favor, unanimous. All right, next one is, private sector appointment to GMRC board. I'm not exactly sure how all that works, but I think Ken has been on that for a while.
He's currently serving in this
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay, and he's chairing it, and the counties, both counties seem to be okay with him, and I haven't heard any negative, anybody pushback saying they didn't want him to continue on
I
that.
believe this is Cavershams.
Is it for applications? Okay. So, I would just, I would just be signing a letter saying that we agree that he continue to serve, so. Tom makes that motion, Scott seconds, all in favor, unanimous. All right, on the alcohol license, we had the person that held the license for Tallulah Adventure is no longer working there, so they needed to update their license, and Maria Lovelace would be that license holder, so we need to make a motion to approve that change. Tom makes the motion, Scott seconds, all in favor, unanimous. All right, and I'm gonna turn the CDs part over to Linda.
Okay.
I know nothing about
So right now, United is offering an 11-month CD at 4.5%. That was the best offer that they had. And then for Oconee Federal, which is where we currently have our CDs, they have their best one is a 13-month for 4.15. So United's got the better deal at the moment. The question is, I guess, do we want everything in one place? There's some risk in that, but we are covered. I mean, they have to collateralize our deposits, so it's not limited at the. But and how much do we want to? We've got the 3 at Oconee Federal now, that I guess keep in a CD and move it, or keep it wherever you want to do. And then we've got the 210
210 for the
that we
salaries.
want
Yeah.
to put into another one.
We want it in,
And right now we're getting 2.5% on our regular check.
right, in that CD, we want to limit to 11 months or whatever, 1 year. Cost of budget. Then the other 3, is all these per year, or does it matter?
Well, I mean, that
The rate stays the same.
yeah, I mean, the 13,
Okay.
even the 13-month one was 4.15, so it's not even better than the 11-month. But United,
You get 4.15 on high yield savings accounts, so you think your CD would be higher than that? The 4.5 seems like the brain.
4.5 is a better way to go.
And
sure. So, but is that all we want to put in there? And this was my question. If you want to look at our balance sheet, it's not going to try to, so we're gonna do the 210, move the 3 that we already have in CD, and then, like I said, we're getting on the general fund, you know, we've got 473,000 in there, but we're getting 2.5 on it right now.
so you're asking if you want to put them all in one CD, basically, right?
Well, now I'm asking, do you want to move any more than the 3 that are already in CDs, the 210 that we said? Do you want to move any other money?
In other words,
into
do we don't have it in the budget to liquidate any of it, right? This
Yeah.
year, right, to spend it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's in the budget just to stay in a CD, you might as well improve the CD, right?
Well, I'm not talking about the money that's in the CD. I'm talking about in your, if you look at the, on the balance sheet, the general fund checking account.
Yeah,
It's just in a regular public funds interest bearing account that's earning 2.5% right now.
Yeah, and but if you put in a CD, that's not gonna be liquid. So can you put it in like the high yield savings account that's bringing a lot more than 2.5 nowadays? No,
I mean, I don't have anything on these. They're all fine.
can do that. Or are we allowed to do that in Goldman Sachs or anything like that? It's kind of opening a checking account, but it's a savings account.
Right.
Just seems like you can carry more. That's their savings rate and their regular savings account, checking account.
Mhm.
Well, it needs to stay liquid, we know that, right?
At least part of it.
Yeah, so it doesn't go, yeah, part of it, okay, gotcha. How much is that again?
Then that
What's all?
biggest account, that from where we sold the building, we've got 473, 5 and that.
How does that impact the camera fund?
That's totally different.
Oh, and this is just,
We've got 983.
But I mean, can we take some of that and put it into a CD?
Sure, we're doing 210 of it now, but we could do, I mean, we budgeted a lot,
Right.
a lot of that for next year, so we really can't
can't move it.
move it until we.
This is just general fund cash, regular cash. Right, it doesn't, we haven't allocated in the budget for anything.
No, I mean, other than the rest of this year.
Yeah,
We wouldn't want to put it all, because.
right, so
We
the
don't
question
feel,
is, if you want to put any of that in the CD or you want to keep it all liquid, basically. If you can improve the savings rate, fine. I guess.
but basically, we're talking about the addition of the money that we got when we sold the Georgia Power building. That's just considered in the checking account.
Is there anything we're not?
And that was 250. So I mean, you could put 200,000 comfortably into a CD. Okay. It still gives us 273. Because it's liquid.
Mhm.
This is all general fund, right? So it can go
How
anywhere.
pertinent is it for it to be liquid?
It seems to be very pertinent here. Right, based on last year's numbers. And what I'm thinking in the future, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Mike? Need to keep some of it liquid or just,
Yeah,
I mean, we've got a budget, I understand that, but this is money you can get to quickly if need be. Right, if you put it in the CD, you can't, you're stuck for a year.
Right, so I think what we've been putting in the CD is probably adequate, plus we're adding the salary money, so up to 210, and if we leave that alone and see how we.
Yeah, do we need that much just to have floating out there, kind of liquid? How much was it again, 400?
473.5 is what we've got right now. I mean, I certainly wouldn't put all that in, I mean, maybe 200.
Maybe
of it.
200 of it, if y'all
Yeah.
think we wanna do.
So add 200 to the 210.
Yeah.
Plus, the other, bring the other CDs up to speed as far as interest rate goes, with whatever services offering the highest, they're all insured, so I'm not too worried about that, just go with the highest rate.
Okay.
And if you wait another 3 months, it's probably gonna go up again, but anyway, you can't. I know that. We need to allocate it now.
Well, I mean, we could, we don't have to do it all now. We've got 3 that are maturing, so we've got to do something with the 3.
Yeah, I think at 4.5, you're doing well. Man, do you think it'll go up next year? But that's a guess.
They kind of hinted that they were gonna pause any more increases.
Yeah, I would just put everything in plus the 200 up at the 4.5 and let's, bring that's a pretty good chunk of interest coming in.
Okay, so I need a motion Scott makes the motion. Tom seconds, all in favor, It's unanimous. Joey wants to see if you can send him an invitation to the Zoom to his home stream. I don't know how to do that.
What was that vote again? What was?
The vote was for, to take an additional 200 out of our surplus general fund and put it into, add it into the CDs.
So we've got 3 that are maturing that will move to United. We've got 210 out of the camera fund that we're gonna open a CD. in.
210,000.
And we have 200,000 out of the general fund that we will put in another seating, separate seating.
Thank
All right, so CD's taken care of. So we'll move on to the Rock House project overview. Had a design, architect designer come out. We had some conversations. So I came up with some drawings. These are very rough. These are drawings that I sent to DNR for approval. Because they were not really approval, but just for them to sign off on what our plan was. And based on between what Georgia Power said and what our designers was saying, I came up with these drawings. So you have a set of as-built and then a set of proposed. What we would be doing is adding, let's see what page would be best to describe this. All right, so if you look at the sheet that's labeled PL01, looks like this. Yeah, right here. What it is, I laid the building out on the flat. The green section back behind is elevated by about 8 or 9 feet and is fairly level. You know, it's graded. It's not really graded, but it would take
Very slow.
and then it levels out. It wouldn't take much to grade it. So his recommendation was to come in off the driveway and make entrance, grade that up so we could drive up and make parking back in there. There's also probably space to put a kayak storage rack up there after I started looking at it. So that's something else to consider. I've talked to Georgia Power. You see this little triangle piece that's right here? That is part of Georgia Power's property. It's not our property. So made a request, and they're going to talk about giving us an exclusive easement that would not be transferable for us to go to be able to cut that corner and include that in our grading plan to get up to that level. It'd just make it easier and give us more use of that space back there. Otherwise, we may have to take off this little carport section that's right here to get access up there. Haven't gotten any bids on that yet. Then we would build up that on the next page, the blue roof right here. And this walkway, what we'd do is we would add just a straight walkway up to that parking space area. Because his concern was if we kept having to get access to the upstairs with stairs and we're turning those into law enforcement or any kind of office space, we need to comply with ADA requirements. So he said if we made parking up top, then they could come in on a walkway that goes right into this corner, this upper corner on the upper unit. So,
Essentially, you just separate the 2 units.
yeah, that's what we're doing. We're gonna isolate both sections so that law enforcement will be secure and by itself. And so on the next page, kind of see what that looks like. So we would have the entranceway in, walkway in, we'd probably enclose it. We may or may not. Some of that's gonna be up to Tanya and how she feels about it. We will take out what was the bathroom in this back section here. Extend the floor here so that again, we have ADA access into that bathroom space. And that's how we're isolating that downstairs section. This other section here that's kind of in between the floors is would be converted into either more office space, or we could make it this area, we could make it secure storage for evidence lockup or weapon lockers, things like that. So it again be isolated, only law enforcement would have access to that. Part of the conversation in this has been that Tanya has talked with DNR and they would love to be able to share some of this space for their law enforcement officers, and that would put them in our area way more often. So that those are ongoing. So we may get with them and see what their needs are, and that may kind of guide what happens here. But Tanya came over and talked with us while we were there. She said she wanted to leave the wall configuration basically the way it was. for now. But I may go ahead, there's carpet in that level. And the wiring's gonna need to be redone, and we're gonna need to get some networking, some ethernet cable run up there, so. I'm thinking Gary and Donna will be here at the end of the month. I'm thinking about putting them over there, getting and getting them to take all the drywall and carpet out of the upstairs area and the drywall and the ceiling downstairs. Because that way we can get access. Once we start getting bids in and getting plans pulled together, we can get access, but I figure that'd be something they could definitely handle.
And we'd save some money.
We'd save a little bit of money on the overall project, and it'd give the builders, the people coming in to bid the job, a better idea of what they're getting into. So. The next page, what you're seeing is, on the backside, this is all of that. This area here is all of that would be available for storage, lockable storage that we could use.
This is the main level.
This is the main level. This is the ground level. This is very open. There's some cabinets over on this end that we may or may not keep. We may replace. We may just get rid of altogether. It's a little kitchen area. This would be storage down below. This was essentially below the bathroom that would be upstairs. And then we'd have public restrooms we'd add on to the end, these two public restrooms. One of them would be accessible from inside, but lockable from inside as well. So that anybody that's using this space down here could have access without having to go outside. So, that's generally the plan that we've come up with, and based on that, I'm gonna get with our designer. I'm gonna get him more detailed dimensions on the building.
Who is that?
Using Ronnie Davidson. And what I'll do is get him the dimensions, get him close dimensions, and then he will actually draw up some more professional looking plans. Showing what's gonna be demoed, what's gonna be added. He knows how to communicate that, and then we're gonna create a scope of project scope of project. And that way we have something to put out to bid. And that's what we're aiming. So. Any other questions or input or?
It's nice to get that service.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So with that being said, it would be I don't want to get up there and start grading or doing anything on that top level until we have a survey done and we know where all the pins are. I've located what I think are 2 or 3 pins, but I don't feel comfortable,
No, don't do that.
especially with Georgia Power being involved and James Turpin on the backside. Well, not James, it's now Mary Beth, and I keep forgetting. Mary Beth bought the general store, so we got the general store's property on the backside. So we were estimating probably $1,000 to do the survey. But then Craig made a comment or made a suggestion, and I think he's right. If we've got someone out surveying that, it would also be nice to go ahead and survey this property on River Street that we've got and get it good marked so we know exactly what's going on over there, especially as we're starting to talk about the water withdrawal project. So we know what we do have.
How big it really is.
Yeah. So I don't have any idea. I don't have any estimation of what that could cost off the top of my head, but I wanted to get approval to at least start moving that way.
Georgia Power had surveyors there today.
Did they?
Okay,
Okay,
get it done.
so, so I don't know, do y'all wanna put a dollar amount on it or just go ahead and just whatever it is, get it done and we'll amend the budget
It's
based
not
on.
gonna be more than double, is it?
We haven't gotten any proposals.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten a proposal. We were just guessing.
Get it done.
So,
I mean, you gotta have it. We can't really move forward with either project.
yeah,
Probably gonna run around $3,000.
about 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's office work and, final plat and all that. They might charge a little bit more for a stamp plat, if you gotta have it. See, there's a difference between just marking boundaries and actually running a boundary and giving you a plat.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think we need plat. It'd be nice to have boundaries. So you might, some surveyors, they wanna give you the plat, so they might charge you extra fee on that. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
For a staff drawing. So I would allocate a minimum $3,500.
Okay. All right, so Scott make a motion. Tom seconds, all in favor, that'll be a motion to allocate $3,500 for a survey to be done on those two lots or two flats, and we'll amend the budget to reflect that. So we'll come back with a budget amendment next month.
Probably next month.
Okay. All right. Well, I've run my mouth enough, so I'm not gonna add any more comments. So if there are any public comments, we have Barbara with us, we have a couple people online. So open the floor for any public comments.
I have a comment. I'm brief. I just think it would be nice that when our power goes off, our water goes off, that we're notified in some way when it might come back on, because the only way I ever find out anything is when I'm driving down the mountain and there's workers, I stop and ask.
Okay,
Georgia Power has a system that they should be alerting you, or you can sign up for it. You can also go to their website and enter your address in, and they'll tell you the latest, greatest.
And they'll text you as well.
Yeah.
And they'll text you if you allow them. I allow them to text me, so I kind of know where it's
yeah,
coming on again.
I get that text too.
Yeah, it's really controlled by Georgia Power, but they've got a good system if you get online.
So do any of you get any information except from this
Just from the
website?
text I get,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all I get.
What about the water?
Water.
Waters, we try to send alerts out, we try to send notifications as best we can.
I don't receive any.
Well,
Are you on Code Red?
are you on the code red?
No.
Okay, we send it out through that, and then Van will a lot of times also send us a supplemental text out. And
Man used to do that, which was good. but
Yeah.
For some reason, he stopped.
If
Okay,
you go on our website, on the home page, you can sign up for our Code Red messages.
That seemed like I did that a long time ago, but I don't receive anything.
That's usually where those go out.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll send it.
Okay, so I should go to Georgia Power's website,
Yeah,
and there is a link that's obvious.
just search power outages and it should put you in a general direction. I can tell you exactly, but yeah, if you search power outages, it should give you an idea where you can sign up for
Okay, and that's what y'all do too.
it. Yes.
yeah, no, ours is a similar function, but it's a different company called Code Red. And so if you go to our main webpage on the right side, there's a link there, that's Code Red. And that'll be where you'll get your water notifications. And that's also used for all, we use that for more than just water. If we have I may start using it when we have red flag days where we don't want people to burn leaves or anything because the weather's too dry. Of course, there's no burning above 2,000 feet on Hickory Nut anyway. But we'll send notifications out since I think when we had a rabid fox running around town, we sent a notification out through Code Red.
You see, I just searched Georgia Power outage. Maybe you can sign up for outage alerts.
Okay, so just Georgia Power, I'm going to
And they've been relatively accurate the last 3 power outages.
Yeah, they're accurate. We'll have it fixed by 1:30, 1 o'clock. We'll have it fixed by 4:30.
4:15. Yeah.
But yeah, they've been pretty good about it, so. All right,
Hello.
there's nothing. Hello?
Hi, this is Ernest.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'd like to make just a couple of comments. Last year, when you all had the public meeting for the budget, I made a comment about the increase of our property taxes in lieu of what you anticipated maybe your new revenue would be with the traffic control revenue. And you said you couldn't use that, but maybe next year, after it had been established for a while, you would relook at that. So my comment is, can you relook at rolling back our property taxes to where it was previous year because you have additional revenue that's come in? I'd like to ask you to just to look at that, not make a decision right now, but I'd like you to look to see if there's anywhere in your overall budget, you can roll back our taxes to where it was previously due to your additional income.
Okay.
The digest is not out yet, so we're not setting a millage rate right now. That'll come later, so that will be a discussion that we have probably around September.
And then I had one other comment. Here again, with your funds you're receiving from the traffic lights is substantial. I'd like maybe for you to look at like a 1 year, a 3 year, and a 5 year forecast for you to invest maybe half of those funds or whatever you feel like you don't need for a future time frame, like a 1, 3, and 5 year. I know you were just talking about CDs and how you can best use your CDs or whatever, but it's just a general comment, maybe looking at, because you have such a substantial amount of money, forecasting that out over the next, not just 1 year, 2 years, but 3 years or 5 years. It's a comment.
Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. The one thing that we need to keep in mind that's not obvious is that that money is regulated by the state to only be used for law enforcement and public safety initiatives. So we can't use any of that money to help buffer our general fund at all. It has to be used just for law enforcement and public safety. And so there are some changes to our budget this year that did move some of the money out of like the fire department's budget and replaced it with some of the speed camera money, which freed that up for the general fund to use. But there's not very much of that we can shift. It's tightly regulated as to how we can do that.
Yeah,
So it's not a windfall.
I understand that, Mike, but I'm talking about even that context. Just leave it
Yeah.
right there. Just
Yeah,
make sure you can try to use that money even for future needs if you need to, because you don't know how long that's going to last.
no, we don't. That's so, yes, along that line, we did do 200 and something thousand in this budget.
I've heard
That's
that.
going to go to cover the salary of a new law enforcement officer. So yeah, we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to see ways where we can put that money back for future use, because you're exactly right. There are people down in Atlanta at the state level that seem to want to crash the whole program. So yeah, it's really good input. So no, we appreciate it.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay.
How much money is it, has been taken in by the camera speed tickets?
900 and
Right now, I think our balance is
83.
Almost a million.
that's I'm anticipating it being less than that next year, because the first month we had it was hitting hard. And there's a lot of citations, and those have dropped off considerably, but not a huge amount of times. Still processing over 3,000 a month, I think. So some of them we can't read the tags, some of them, whatever. So we don't get all of them, but she's got to process 2,000 to 3,000 citations every month still. So we'll see. All right. Any more comment? Then I'll go ahead, and we don't need executive session, so we'll go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn. Scott makes the motion. Craig seconds, all in favor? Unanimous.
I usually don't have a chance to raise my hand.
Right.